Verse 321. There are 8 worlds of formlessness. Dhyana is divided into 6. And with the Pratyekabuddhas and Buddha-sons, there are 7 forms of emancipation. Now, Dhyana is a very important term. It's the origin of the term Zen. Jhana became, in China, Zen, and in Japan, Zen. So for a series of videos on Zen, Jhana is very important. It's very important in certain Buddhist circles. Circles where there's a great emphasis on meditation. And the jhanas themselves refer to states of meditative absorption. You might be familiar with this, either practically or theoretically. And traditionally, there are 4 jhanas. And these jhanas refer to what is known as the world of form. But there is often another 4 jhanas added on, known as the formless jhanas. So that gives us 8 jhanas altogether. 4 relating to the world of form and 4 relating to the worlds of formlessness. Sometimes there are extra jhanas added on, but 4 is the usual number with an additional 4. And there's a very good article in Wikipedia on Dhyana in Buddhism. It's not going to be much help with this verse though, because this verse goes against the usual understanding. We're told that there are 8 worlds of formlessness and that Dhyana is divided into 6. So this is good. This is good because it means we have to look at this afresh. We have to look at it for ourselves once again. We have to look at it in the light of enlightenment practice. And I might have to do this over more than one video, because there's a lot here. The 8 worlds of formlessness. The words here are rupa and arupa. Rupa is form, arupa is formless. Rupa, from the point of view of the enlightenment practitioner, is what attracts the attention. So in the 4 rupa jhanas, the first 4 jhanas, this is being actively encouraged to focus the attention on an object, usually the breathing. As enlightenment practitioners, we're not interested on putting the attention onto any form, simply because as part of enlightenment practice, we do not regard any form as of any consequence. It's all part of samsara. We want to direct the attention elsewhere. So in this sense, from the point of view of enlightenment practice, we can say that the first 4 jhanas are formless. Because we do not want to reinforce the idea that there is anything out there of any significance, of any reality. And if you're practicing the jhanas, you have to focus on one thing. And that thing has to become the most important thing in the world for you. Otherwise you cannot stay focused on it. Now, let's have a look at these formless jhanas, because this is when it starts getting interesting. We have to ask ourselves, well, what should we focus on? Jhana is about focusing the attention. What should we focus it on? Well, the four formless jhanas lead us to what we should be focusing on. Begins first of all with the sphere of infinite space. How do we focus on that? How can that be the object of our focus? It's like we're being asked to focus on absolutely everything. Broaden the attention so that it takes in everything. Well, in a way, yes. That's what we need to do. The sphere of infinite space can only be focused on from outside the sphere of infinite space. If we can broaden our attention to the point where we accept everything, what happens as we do that is that we step back from it. We step back from the sphere of infinite space. Now this might sound like a tall order, but we do this every morning when we wake up from our dreams. In our dreams, our mind is creating space all over the place. And we step back from it when we wake up. What do we step back to? We step back to the sphere of infinite consciousness. This is the next Arupa jhana. Again, this might sound rather grand. Infinite consciousness. It could just have been called the sphere of consciousness, but it's stressing the point that consciousness is infinite, in that its creative potential is infinite. Again, we can see this in our dreams. Is there any limit to the variety of dreams that we can have? Space is consciousness in operation. So we're coming back from space to consciousness, coming back from all the things that occupy space to the awareness which underpins them. Now when we come back to consciousness, we're coming back to a particular realization. We're coming back to the realization that nothing exists as we believed it to exist. We come back to the realization that consciousness is the sole reality. It's the same consciousness that creates dreaming, that creates dreams when we're sleeping. It creates everything. So the sphere of nothingness, the world of nothingness, it sounds rather bleak and unappealing, but it's the sphere of liberation. And our focus of our attention is on the attention itself. The attention itself is this consciousness. It is this pure awareness. It is liberation. when we realize the insubstantial nature of the world, when we realize the fabrication of our own personality, when we can see beyond the force of our own moods, then this is freedom. And it's reinforced by the realization that perception does not exist either. The belief that there's a world out there being experienced by an individual here is totally dissolved. Again, this might sound strange, but if you consider what's going on in your dreams, you're walking around, you've got your eyes, you've got your ears, you're seeing things in your dream. You would argue that what otherwise would be the point of these dream eyes? They're to see things in the dream. Well, this is nonsense, isn't it? This is part of the construction of consciousness. So we're beyond the sphere of perception. But it's called the sphere or the world of neither perception nor non-perception, because there is something going on, isn't there? There's something going on. It's just that it's not what we're led to believe is going on. So this is it. This is the consolidation. This is true Jhana. Established in formlessness. I'll continue with this verse in the next video.